All this to say is that you love jazz, but in a more unique and profound way than everyone else.
Right, exactly. The way I love jazz is not like the way you guys love jazz.
You heard it here first. Hi, it's Leah. We're here with
Mitski.
Mitski. Can you shuffle your playlist for us?
Sure, if I must.
Is there anything you're like maybe nervous might pop up?
Patrick Hyland, my longtime producer, I asked him like, what do you think my favorite song is? And he was like, oh, Pony, Genuine. I was like, really? Play. Oh, the artist is named At, and the track is Are You There, God? It's Me, At.
I can't see you in my dreams anymore.
I don't actually know much about the artists themselves, but I've listened to their tracks and it's really like experimental but also accessible. They have really cool melodies, but they're not really bound to like any kind of genre or song structure.
What would you say the best scenario for this song to come on in would be?
I think it would be like if you're at your local DIY show. It's like between sets. People have that on.
Yeah.
I think it would be perfect. This is Miles Davis's Wili Part 1 live at Carnegie Hall. I think this is from the 80s. He like started to like experiment with more contemporary music that's outside of jazz.
Sure.
And it's like really cool.
Are you a big jazz head?
I am, but I hate to say that because I went to music school with a bunch of jazz majors and I don't want to be lumped in with those people.
She's different.
I'm sorry. My band is full of Berklee College of Music people, so I don't mean to shade. I just remember being in college and these dudes in the jazz program, their entire conversations would be like, do you know this? Yeah. Do you know this? Yeah. Do you know this? Yeah. That would be the whole conversation, just like comparing how much you know about jazz. It's just like, that's not the joy of it for me.
All this to say is that you love jazz, but in a more unique and profound way than everyone
Right,
else.
exactly. Oh, this is Chopin. One of the Nocturnes, it's Opus 48, number 2.Andantino in F sharp minor. I'm reading it as it goes slowly. I tend to, on the apps, just like look up a song and then like go through and listen to the various versions of it and like attach myself to one of them and then like that one.
What was it about this version of the piece performed that stuck with you?
Some pianists I find are very cold about their performances. They're really academic. They're like, it's written this way, I'm gonna play it this way. Especially with romantic composers, they push back a little bit against like leaning into the romanticism of it. And a lot of them sometimes like, I think rush through it a little bit. But this player, I think, really leaned into the romanticism of it, which I think is what makes it so beautiful.
Ooh, the vibes have shifted.
The track is Homicide, one of my favorite songs.
I believe in homicide.
It's one of my like shower songs,
Okay.
because at the end you just say homicide, homicide, and then at the end he goes homicide, 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 and I'm just like, yeah. Last time I was listening to it, I was actually walking down the streets of New York, and I was like really feeling myself. But I imagine if you saw that from afar, you'd be like, there's something wrong with that lady.
Oh, we're getting classical with it today.
Tchaikovsky, The Seasons, I'm waiting for it to scroll, Opus 37A, number 10, October.
We're just doing synonyms at this point.
Song. Performed by Mikhail Pletnev. Tchaikovsky like writes, I would argue, pop melodies, or like pop of his time. His melodies are singable, they get stuck in your head, they're emotional. Contemporary classical is very focused on like atonality, pushing the boundaries. I kind of just want a nice melody, you know?
I want to ask you what song you think people should be putting on their playlists.
I mean, it depends on what kind of playlist is the question.
Oof. I mean, let's see, spring is coming, hopefully.
Oh, you know what? My new album, Nothing's about to happen to me. The first track is In a Lake. So it starts out in this like kind of like more rural lake scene, and it's beautiful and it's bucolic, and then pastoral rather. And then at the end there's like a big, not to spoil it, but there's like a big switch to like city sounds, and I feel like spring is like, wake up, you know, like, okay, it's pastoral, but also get up.
Yeah.
It's getting warm.
Big city, you can start over. The lights all around you, the dark safe inside.
Who did you have in mind when you were writing this album?
You know, when I write songs, I usually write them for myself. After I write it and I'm like making the song, who I think about are the other me's out there like me. At the very end of the day, I think my audience are the individuals in their room having a moment, listening to a song and like letting the song, I don't know, comfort them or like express their feelings, feel catharsis. You know, some kind of music is like very social. Some kind of music is like for parties, for dancing, and that's great. That has its place. I think my music is for like being in your room and having your feelings alone.
To that point, I think a lot of people online, a lot of your audience associates your music a lot with the act of yearning. I am curious how your relationship to yearning has changed since you started writing music.
Wow, these questions. In my younger days, I wanted so much because I wasn't getting so much that I needed, and I kept thinking, it must be over there. I just need to go over there. I need to get it from there. I think now I've had enough times where I realize it's not about the thing. It's about the yearning itself. It's like you have a yearning for something missing. Now that I've really luckily been able to like get a lot of the things that I was yearning for, I'm like, oh, it turns out that wasn't the answer after all.
Right. Who were you listening to while you were creating the world of your new album?
Oh boy. I think a lot of people say I draw from the Pixies, and I do. It's almost half and half between Breeders and Pixies. Spirit of the Beehive, Piss Jeans. They have a track where the F word is bleeped, and I was like, I'm taking that.
Stealing that.